U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. Carry of the game here for Trey Mason. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. 5 yards left for the offense. It's second down. They'll run again with Mason. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
The previous play was a nice run, so they came back with the draw. I think they were trying to fool the defense into thinking they would throw the ball and wanted to run it again. Unsuccessful, but this team is definitely showing they want to keep it on the ground.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. On third down, Bridgewater. Strong grabs it over the middle. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now they run. It's Mason. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game as we just saw there.
Second down, Bridgewater. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That catch good for 5. It's third down. 7 yards remaining here on third down. Bridgewater from the gun on third down. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead, it just brings up fourth down. On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Oh, spinning away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Hyde, the lone man in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
Following the penalty, it's Hyde. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Sharif Floyd in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And now out comes Minnesota, and they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And they'll bring him down. Here right around the 17-yard line. They'll run here with Mason. And he'll power his way up near the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
1 receiver left, 3 to the right. To throw is Bridgewater. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. I remember growing up playing basketball, my coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they're able to react and knock the ball away.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
He got 29 yards that time. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. for Mason. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
A dump off for Mason. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Let's go. Right 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. This will be caught at about the 5. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4.
Let's go. Wide 80. Dagger.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver was Trey Mason, and it's 4th down. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on 3rd down after having such a long drive going.
Hey, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
They had a long way to go. They started that drive at their own 3, and they scored 3 from it.
What an excellent job by an offense that could have very easily just said, okay, let's just take a few plays safe, punt the ball away, and play some defense. Instead, they found a way to attack and put themselves in position to put points on the board.
So the Broncos coming out now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
You got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They'll drop to throw. He dumps it to Hyde. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Finding time. Out to the flat for Hyde. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Mason. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Couple of Broncos there in on the tackle.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Bridgewater. Deion Sims is tight end, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. 9 yards to go. It's 3rd down. Throwing is Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete.
Now let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys. Because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Their big tight end. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A minute 59 to go in the first half. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. He'll buy some time right. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And they're going to speed things up here. Bridgewater on first down. And he fires one incomplete. Offense still needing. Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete.
Let's go. Way 90.
They'll throw again, Bridgewater. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. But he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Myers able to knock it through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side.
Get ready. Wide 80.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Over the middle, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Vikings did not come out and play the way they wanted to in the first half. The Broncos have bounced back from a tough loss last week and look to be a...
Hey, Charles, can you give me a water? Jeez, Chuck, they cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they'll go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Thomas, the lone receiver left. He'll drop to throw. Sanders has it over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. 3rd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's caught by Sanders. He leaps over him. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And certainly a valuable tool to have in your kit, Emmanuel Sanders, and he's shown us quite a bit in this one.
And that's why they want to use him immediately. You know they come out of the locker room saying, let's get the ball to him, get our offense jump-started, and in this case, it's worked throughout the game. Thus, they have the lead.
First down, a run with Hyde. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. They'll look to throw. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
Offense Line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Hyde, the lone man in the backfield. And they'll give it to him here. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points. But they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A second down throw for Bridgewater. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They run high, and good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They run it again with Hyde. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run. Hyde. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. And he's back here in the struggle department in this one like he was a week ago. And, partner, I think you can pin some of this on that O-line. The room to run just not there.
You mentioned last week that it felt like the offensive line was getting beaten to the punch by the guys across the ball.
It was pretty evident, I thought.
I mean, they were off the ball fast, penetrating, getting into the offensive backfield, really spilling a lot of runs before they got started. So I thought your observation was spot on then, and you're right there again this week. Same thing is happening, not able to get started because they're not able to control the point of attack.
They'll run for him with Hyde. They can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say,
got his man, it's Thomas. Touchdown, Denver. Demaryius Thomas hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Here comes the defensive unit for the Broncos. They trot back out there. And the interception the last time they were out there ended up leading to a touchdown.
So the only thing they didn't get really was the pick 6. Because that's what everyone wants. Take it immediately to the end zone. But their offense capitalized on the takeaway and turned it into the 6 points they were looking for.
Yeah, set them up pretty, got the touchdown. Now they're back out there defensively.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes
back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. On the ground again, it's Mason. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
The 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Looking for Strong, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Another tote for the afternoon workhorse. It's Hyde. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Defense. Automatic first down.
Carry number 20 here for Hyde. Stays on his feet. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a third one.
Yeah, now from this spot on third down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach, but it kept the offense out of the end zone.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Bridgewater now on second down. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. From the pistol, they'll run with Hyde. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Again, it's Hyde. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll drop to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Carlos Hyde, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. 2nd down, Bridgewater. Throwing right, and that's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route.
Holding offense.
So 20 yards to go here on 1st down.
Let's go. 180. 2-jet. 2-jet. Let's go.
They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He was able to get a hand in and knock it away. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. 3rd and long for Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
Desperation time, 4th down, Bridgewater. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed, I did, my good man. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here, because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them. Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends, because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Your crack at dawn, Monday morning coffee, strong pouring everything you got into a paycheck Friday night. Your power stroke, diesel backhoe riding king, 18-wheeler driving, living life in between the lines of clocking in and quitting time. Then the six-string circus comes to town.